everybody. Welcome to the training, learning, and development community. Thanks for joining us today. We've got a great guest. We've got Kate Udalova. Is it Udalova? Udalova? I'm sorry, I forgot. I asked
Udalova, that's fine.
Udalova with us from 7Taps this morning in another community member showcase. And we're going to learn a lot more about Kate and 7Taps in the next 30 minutes or so. Let's see. I want to give a shout out to some of the folks that are in the live audience right now. Oh, Josh is here. Kim, Dan, Joe Polacchino, Matt, Owen, Karthik, Tom. Hey, nice to see you, Tom. Danny, good to see you. Michelle, Jenna, thanks for joining us. We're gonna just get straight into this. Kate has been. I think that. Let's see, Kate. I believe 7Taps was in our first community day expo, which was like earlier this year. I think it was in February where I built that one out. That's where I was introduced to your product, and I've been really curious ever since. I see you like pretty active on LinkedIn and in other places, so I'm looking forward to learning a lot more about you and 7Taps especially. So let's just jump into it. You ready for this?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about your journey in learning and development, but I'm really curious, like when I look at your profile on LinkedIn, which let me grab that. I'm going to post that on in our chat here. Your background is in marketing and business development, but you founded an L&D company, not just like any L&D company, an authoring tool, a platform focused on micro learning. How did you end up in this space?
Well, the answer is pretty easy. Since the company I previously worked for specializes in L&D consulting services, and they also do a lot of stuff in organizational management. And technically my background is in marketing, but you just cannot promote products effectively if you are not curious what the product really is. And that's how I really walk into L&D industry, because I needed to understand from the inside what's going on. I fell in love with it, and my marketing background really helped me to figure out the problems that people were facing in the industry, and some of them are really facing them right now. And I thought, why not to come up with some great ideas, some great tool to help them solve that issues.
Wow. Okay. So it was prior to this, it was Swipe LMS, I think it was, that you were at.
Yeah, Swipe LMS was the first, the so-called trial of my startup experience. I founded it with my previous managers, actually. And just at one moment, I realized that I want to go further. I want to build something on my own. And actually, it was the beginning of the lockdown. And my husband told me, if you want to do something on your own, just go ahead. You are equipped enough. You know everything. So I will support you. And thus 7Taps was born.
Wow, that is amazing. It's almost mind-boggling to me to just jump into a company or building a company that is, that's like a software company, software as a service, that type of thing, and just being a founder, because I had sort of a similar journey, and I know it's not, it's just not easy. It's a whole different like skill set. It feels like to actually, to build from scratch. Is there anything in particular about L&D and this particular industry that really attracted you and that you liked and that you knew you wanted to like sort of stick with it?
Well, the first thing that makes me enthused really about the industry is the community. People are so open here. People are so willing to share their knowledge, to share their feedback. It's just incomparable to any other industry I recently dealt with, actually. And even related to 7Taps, when we founded the company, we were reaching out to potential users, asking for their feedback, and they were all so open, so sincere, so inspiring and engaging. So I really had no doubt that I'm moving into the right direction. And as for the second reason I'm really loving it is that as in the marketing field, when it comes to learning, you have a person who you need to reach out to. And if we speak about marketing, we need to deliver some messages to the right people at the right time when they need it, and to convince them to do something. And just the same story with e-learning, actually. And I suppose that there is so much common, and e-learning industry is developing rapidly. So why not to, evolve it according to some marketing principles and taking something great from marketing sphere to this kind of stuff.
I agree. Like the energy, well, like Kim is saying in the chat, she's saying our tribe is the best. And I totally agree. It's one of the reasons why, I continue to try to strive to build within this space, is because the people are just so outgoing and willing to participate in the things that you do. And my day job is actually, I work for another learning platform, and it's the same kind of thing. It's just a lot of folks are really open to listening and sharing knowledge, because it's kind of built into the DNA of anybody that does training. So I totally agree. Great space to be in. So like, what are you working on right now with, go ahead. Were you going to say something?
I just wanted to add some comment on the previous question, because it's really crucial. I was invited to speak at the L&D Awesome Conference, and it's going to happen on the 26th of June, I suppose. And I have a great mentor, Laura Kotler, and we also have some pre-event meetings scheduled about public speaking skills, about some presentation skills. And they're so open. We just communicate. I just can reach out to anyone asking my questions, and they will always advise me. I have a pretty low experience in public speaking, but I'm willing to share something I know with the community. And they're just like, oh yeah, we can help you. We are willing to help you. And this experience is just incomparable. I don't really feel that you can find it in any other sphere of business. So yeah, the tribe is really the best.
What conference is that? L&D Awesome?
The organizers are called L&D Cares Community, and
okay.
Just the exact title are, just let me find it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, feel free to paste that in there.
Welcome into the awesome hashtag, actually, and it will happen on the 25th and 26th of June.
Okay, so that's coming up in just over a week or so. Yeah, if you want to post that into chat, feel free to post that in there. Oh, looks like we've got a few questions coming in here, so I'm gonna just keep going through here. We'll let if you have any questions for Kate, feel free to drop them into the ask a question area, and I'll get to those in just a little bit. So Kate, what kinds of things are you doing with 7 Taps right now?
Right now, I'm working on a new feature which allows adding AI-generated videos to your micro content. And this feature is just brilliant. First of all, it's free. And the second thing is that you can type or paste any video script, and the platform will automatically generate the AI video for you. So I highly recommend everyone to give it a try and then reach out to me, sharing their feedback and comments on it. I'm just willing to discuss and to talk about it, because it's now in public beta. So we are finding the ways to improve the experience, and we'll be happy to get some thoughts and feedback on it.
That's great. That's awesome. I wish I should have like given 7 Taps a try before we met. I kept seeing that it's free and I was like, oh, I got to jump into that and take a look. But I never did that. Looks like Karthik posted in there. Welcome into the awesome. Looks like they're using air meat as well. Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. So let me go back a little bit to when the origin story of 7Taps. So you went from Swipe LMS, you decided to start your own company. Now, and you're also from Belarus. I mean, is that where you are now, or are you in Florida, or what is you are? Okay, so what was that journey like of wanting to start a company, and being in Belarus, and it feels like it's an American company, but that must have been a whole different kind of adventure as well, or a lot of challenges associated with that.
7Taps is a Florida-based company, and part of our team is in the US right now. But generally, we are a team of international collaborators, and we have our team members all over the world, actually. And this is just the first challenge we are facing because, in this remote world, it's difficult to establish some really personal contact, but we are really thriving to be on the same page, to stay tuned with each other. We have really a great team. It's the most valuable asset a founder can even dream of. As for the company itself, I suppose the main challenge was when we are still in the early stages, but when we just launched the product, we were really nervous. How would market react to it, actually? Because we spent all our family savings to build 7Taps, and we went all in. And by the time we got first users' feedback, we were really nervous, we were drained, we were exhausted, and we were not sure whether we are moving in the right direction. So I remember those moments when I was thinking about how could I reach out to the L&D influencer and ask what do they think about 7Taps, because I understand that people in the industry and people all over the world actually are overwhelmed with messages like, hey, this is my product, please share your feedback. And for me, this was and this is not just a product, it's not just a company, it's my passion, it's my life, it's my hobby, it's something that goes from the inside. So I was really nervous, and when I got the first positive feedback, I was like, I'm doing something fine. So just Kate, move forward.
That's great. And here's the thing is, I've been in this space for a really long time, and I know that, ever since the beginning, sometimes it can be a challenge, kind of just even trusting vendors within the space. They're often vendors can even have kind of a bad reputation for trying to sell really hard, or to, or like overly aggressive about trying to get organizations to, to buy their tools or to use their LMS, all that kind of stuff. But it really feels like when my interactions with 7Taps and you have been like a lot more authentic, right? They've been they feel a lot more honest. I mean, you're willing to come onto the broadcast. You're the founder of this company, and I could just talk to you. It doesn't feel like that with other organizations. Sometimes it's they try to do like kind of the smoke and mirrors thing. So I really appreciate the fact that that authenticity comes out in your product.
Yeah, and sometimes people ask me about what we do to build the community. How do I develop my LinkedIn page profile? But actually, I have no advice. I do not follow any strategy. I just follow my heart. I text and post about what really matters to me and what I'm thinking about. And I'm reaching out to people, not trying to sell anything, but trying to just keep in touch and to understand, could I be of value to them or not? So it's all comes from who I am, and I really appreciate that you noticed it Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's understated just being able to do that and to present yourself that way, because it's not typical. And I think that there is kind of a shift where we're moving in the direction where that is a lot more common. And for me, it's something that I appreciate because I, I mean, honestly, everybody knows I just work out of a small home office, and I just do this in my spare time when I'm not working in my day job and doing the family thing. So it's definitely appreciated, your authenticity. So now, Kate, I'm going to get into some of these questions that have been submitted, like this first one from Owen here. Owen is saying, love the integration of Synthesia.io for the text to video functionality. How did this partnership develop? And maybe if you can give us a little context on that one too, because I don't know anything about Synthesia.io. So maybe if you could explain that a little bit and answer the question.
So this company developed the technology that allows creating AI-generated videos. And this technology is just above and beyond the average AI-generated videos experience, because they really help you to generate very natural speakers. So it sounds really as if it was the real person. And it's a great question about our partnership, because it seems that we launched our products at the same time. Maybe they started 2 months earlier. And of course, we are looking at the market and seeing what's happening around. And we were like, oh, these guys seems to be really cool. And one day they reached out to us and we scheduled a call. And it was a great surprise that when we were sharing our pitches, they were just almost the same. We were using the same wording, the same ideas. We both stand for the simplicity of the product, for the high speed of content creation. And we were thinking like, oh, this is a great match. So we should create something together. And yeah, it was so natural. It was not like, so we should do some partnership activity. It was so smooth that it seems that they're just the right people to make 7-Tap experience even greater.
Nice. So can you tell us a little bit, what is Synthesia? It looks like I'm seeing that it's it could create professional AI videos from text in 40 plus languages.
Yeah, so you just can type in or paste any script, and the technology will generate the video for you. So it will be just a person who speaks your script.
Awesome. Yeah, that's very interesting. I'm going to have to check that out. That's fantastic.
Yeah, highly recommended.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for that one, Owen. Okay, and let me go to this question. So, being a founder of an L&D tool, sort of, authoring company platform, what have been some of your biggest challenges? And and I really would appreciate also maybe talking about being a female founder. That's also not really typical in this space, and I'd love to hear about that too. So, just what have been your challenges?
As for being a female founder, it's something that helps me, because I couldn't even imagine that there will be so many people who would reach out to me saying just, oh, Kate, you're a female founder. I really want to support you. Girls power. And it comes from, mostly it comes from women. And I'm so grateful to receive such messages. Thank you. Thank you, girls. And as for the greatest challenge, L&D and especially e-learning market is oversaturated, actually. There are hundreds of products, and it was a challenge for us to keep to the product philosophy and to remain who we are, actually. We wanted 7-Taps to be as simple as possible and at the same time powerful. And it was a challenge to, cut down on all the features we might have added and to follow the initial product philosophy. So as for the now, people often, recommend us, let's add this feature. And we are like, will think about it, but we should be really careful about how the product evolves. So yeah, we are trying to keep it simple.
Wow, that's awesome. So, what are you most proud about with 7taps?
First of all, I'm proud that 7taps really helps people to save their time. And as for some projects, I suppose that the greatest experience and the greatest feelings I received were from our course creator contest. We just asked people all over the world to create some mini content, bite-sized content about what inspires them, about what moves them. And as for the first season, we received applications from 14 or 15 countries. And the courses were so touchy, so moving, so authentic that we spent actually several days arguing about the finalists. Actually, LinkedIn has limited options you can add to the poll, so we had to choose only 4 finalists, and we were really arguing hard about the names. And when we got the winner's name, I was so happy. It was Brandon, as if it was me who got an iPad Pro, actually. And I knew that he was happy too. And this experience, the comments I got afterwards about, please guys, can you extend the contest? I also want to throw my hat in the ring. They were so energetic. So we decided to prolong the contest, and now the season 2 is in full swing, and we are thinking about even the season 3. So if you want to take part, I will be happy.
Yeah, no, that is great. And I have seen that type of activity out there, and it's fascinating. And there are a lot of companies out there that, especially startups, that could use you as an example for how to really start building a community around a product, because it didn't seem like you were too forceful about it. You just got out there, and then you found folks that were fans of your product and wanted to participate in using it. And to me, it just looks like you've been successful at doing that and getting folks in there. So congratulations with that. Karthik is asking, have you faced any criticism over 7taps, and how did you deal with it?
Well, sure, but frankly, there were really a few guys that criticized the tool, and actually both of them didn't sign up. So they simply didn't like the idea, the concept of the product. But as for the feedback, not everyone just comes to me happily and enthusiastically saying, "Oh, this is just a great tool." They all have their thoughts on it. They share some vision on it, and I'm taking feedback seriously. This is something that helps us to develop the greatest product. And I do not even treat it as a criticism. So criticism is just a feedback. And it's up to you to take it seriously, to treat it, and to take it into action. So I'm just only for any thoughts that anyone can share about the platform, about what I'm doing, and I'm open to any kind of feedback.
Yeah, you kind of have, I think that even just being a founder, period, you have to have like a tough skin,
Yeah.
and really do. Yeah.
You cannot be everything to everybody, actually. You just have to stick to what you are really, what you believe in and what comes from inside you. And yeah, that's all. Because, haters gonna hate.
Haters are gonna hate. I'm gonna quote you on that one, Kate. Haters gonna hate. Karthik's also asking, how do you tackle users' wish lists for 7taps? We can have a long wish list at times. So how do you do that?
Yeah, actually, we have a special list, and we have weekly meetings with our R&D team, and we discuss each point carefully. We have our roadmap. Now it contains more than 30 features, so it's really long, and we are just discussing carefully what will launch next. So, you know, no comment is just escaping. Everything is under control and in the loop.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Karthik. I know that I've seen other organizations that, like, in fact, like AirMeet, since I use that platform for my larger events, I've seen they have like a Trello worksheet that they post customer wish lists on, and you could actually go there and sort of see how they're actively accomplishing some of these development requests, and that level of transparency is also really, really nice when folks do that. So yeah, absolutely. Owen has another question here, and he's asking, my company is stuck on classroom only, in part because we are primarily a tech manufacturing plant. What do you recommend for shifting the culture to adding mobile?
Oh, that's a challenging question because it really depends mostly on the company. And, being just the founder of the learning platform, I cannot recommend some concrete steps because it depends on really lots of factors. And first of all, there should be some influencers within the organization that should encourage mobile learning and should spread the word about it, because all the changes should come to the company gradually. Nothing happens in a day. So maybe you can just implement some mobile learning activities, really some micro steps, sending some follow-ups for the conventional kind of training, or just sending your team members, I don't mean the whole organization, but your team, and sending some funny piece of content, wishing them a good week, and just seeing how they really react to it. Because as for the mobile learning and as for the any type of learning, it all depends on who you are learning, actually, who your learners are. And if they really react to it positively, if this type of learning resonates with them, they will willing just to share it with you, and they will help you to promote it within an organization. But if classroom activity is something that is valuable for them, this is effective, maybe there's no way to make such a shift. I don't know, but I would just recommend to applying it gradually.
Right. And get the data, find the data, to help promote that shift. And usually that helps, like the stakeholders buy into it. That nowadays it feels like that's the best way to go about doing stuff. Owen's got another question. Synthesia recently introduced a resellers program with some great perks. 5 referrals equals a free for life kind of thing. Have you considered anything like that?
Actually, I have no idea about this program, so I will have a look after the conference after this meeting. So now I have no idea even what to say you about it.
looks like Owen's wanting to resell your product and see if he can get a free license. Okay, I've got a few more questions for you, Kate. What are some things that you wish you had known when you had first started out in your career? Like, if you could go back to before you started 7taps now, like what are some things, what advice would you have given to yourself?
Well, be courage. Don't be afraid, because the only thing that I really wish I had known is that the users would love the product so much. It would definitely give me more energy at the moment when I was, locked in my flat, working on the first mock-ups and dealing with R&D team. It was not an easy thing. I cannot tell you that it was smoothless experience. It was a challenge. We were nervous and we were really drained during journey, and the journey continues. It's never ending, actually. So
Yeah.
this kind of understanding that that's the right thing would definitely be helpful.
Yeah, no, and I love hearing that from founders because that is such an important thing. You know, like Dan from Cinecraft would love to hear that the answer from that as well. But yeah, thanks for sharing that. It really really is important. And so who or what keeps you inspired to keep going?
I would say our users,
Yeah.
and I would say our team. They are both two main assets that I have, and they are both inspiring. And just I can share a story. I keep sitting and working late hours because of the time zones, and I usually go to bed at 3 a.m. or even later or earlier. I don't know. And that's just the common story. When I see it, I want to fall asleep, and someone sent me a message via LinkedIn saying, "Oh, Kate, 7 Taps is so great. I'm happy to connect with you. How's it going?" And I'm like, I don't want to sleep anymore. I'm enthused. I want to chat about it. I want to develop something else. That's how it's going.
Yeah, that's great. That's great to hear, Kate. Yeah, it really is, especially I'm sure like as the uh, being the founder of a product, just hearing people enthusiastic about the thing that you've built must feel so good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. We've done our 30 minutes, but I do want to know this. If there's one thing that people should know about you, what is it?
I have a good sense of humor. Well, actually, I'm kind of I don't know. I suppose my friend and my family should tell you because I don't really know how they just perceive me as a person and what would they say. So it's not about me sharing something about myself.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, it does seem like you have a good sense of humor and that you're a delight to talk to. I want to thank you for sharing time with us this morning or today to talk about 7 Taps and talk about your history. And I'm looking forward to hopefully chatting with you again and maybe seeing you do more introducing your product to the training, learning, and development community. Yeah,
Sure, thank you,
good
and
luck with
thanks
it.
for everyone here. I'm sending my love and positive vibes.
All right, you guys. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for everyone joining us in the live audience. And let's see, tomorrow we've got Matt Tidwell from Think Through, and we're going to be talking to him about his journey too. He's a CEO of his company, and he's got an agency that I'm excited to talk about. And then also, don't forget, if you guys haven't signed up already, make sure that that you sign up for AIDC 21, which is the accessible and inclusive design conference, which is coming up in just like 3 weeks or so. I've got the program pretty much almost finished. I'm sort of like playing around with a couple things still, but go to aidc21.com if you're interested in that. It's a free event, and it's super important that we get more focus on accessibility and inclusion. I'm just loving the fact that that I'm working with some beautiful people to produce that one. So please sign up for it. It's free, and you won't regret it. It's going to be a good one. All right, Kate. Thanks again for everything. And you need anything from TLDC, just let me know, and we'll see you next time.
See you. Thank you.
All
Bye bye.
right. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.